Just buy it. The 4100 series is an excellent all-round electric toothbrush. It strikes the ideal balance between features, functionality and price. I've bought and tested hundreds of toothbrushes, and trust me when I say, if this was the only toothbrush I could ever use again, I wouldn't complain. It scored 5 out of 5 in my hands-on testing. It has the 3 features we recommend here most at electricteeth: a 2-minute timer, a pacer and a pressure sensor. Not only do these help me brush my teeth evenly, it encourages me to do so for the right amount of time. I also like the automatic power off, so I know exactly when the 2 minutes are up. Should I brush too hard, the change in vibration pattern, sound and sensation are enough to alert me to change my technique. Yes, I do think the addition of a light to highlight excess pressure, much like the Oral-B IO series, would be a bonus, but it isn't essential. It has 2 brushing modes, clean and gum health, and then 2 intensity levels, so essentially 4 different brushing configurations. This is more than enough to satisfy those most desiring different brushing configurations, and there are LEDs and mode labels on the handle to make it really clear which is selected. A small but meaningful touch is that there is a dedicated mode button, meaning I don't have to use the power button to cycle through all the different options. The cleaning results are great, I have no complaints, just look at the effective plaque disclosing results shown on screen now. The 4100's motor has been configured to have a more powerful feeling on the teeth and gums than the more affordable 1000 and 2000 series. It doesn't quite deliver the intensity of the Sonicare 5300 series, for example, but most of it is a feeling. I don't see how any dental professional could really tell long term whether you are brushing with a good value brush like the 4100 or some top of the line model. At the end of the day, brushing technique and time have a much bigger impact. I will just mention that I still think Oral-B offers the edge when it comes to that really deep clean feeling, but it doesn't mean their brushes are doing a better job. Some clinical data would suggest so, but in reality, cleaning results are comparable for most users when used correctly. Scoring 5 out of 5 in my hands-on testing, the 4100 sets a benchmark that is hard to beat. Yes, other brushes do score higher in specific subcategories, but they don't fundamentally do a better job. They may just offer a different user experience. Producing an audible hum in operation, I measured the sound of the 4100 at 63 decibels, pretty much in line with most brushes. Made in China, the 4100 does come in an all-paper based box, no plastic wrap. Philips does now manufacture brush heads from 70% bio-based plastic, doing its bit for a more sustainable future. They could do far more though. I would say they are better than Oral-B, but are being put to shame by challenger brands like Surrey, who offer a more environmentally considerate approach and a recycle scheme for their used brush heads. Sonicare brush heads are harder to recycle as they have an RFID chip in them. Having such enables technology known as brush sync. The chip in the head is tracked by the handle. Once the head has been used for 3 months or has equivalent wear, a light on the handle would be lit to alert me I need to swap it out for a new one. It's not essential, but good if I had a tendency not to replace the bristles regularly enough. Sadly, this 4100 no longer offers this. Previous generations did. I don't know why this feature has been removed. The supplied W Optimal White head does a good overall job of cleaning the teeth. It is designed to help buff the teeth to be brighter and whiter. It wouldn't be my go-to head of the range, but the push-on and pull-off style attachment the 4100 has means I can use any of Philips' range of interchangeable brush heads with this handle. I found it best to pick a head you like and just brush with the correct technique. No point worrying too much about the style. None are going to achieve significantly better or worse results. Philips heads don't appear to have the mould issues that have been plaguing users of the IO series handles. I certainly haven't experienced such in the 10 years or more I have been testing Philips toothbrushes. The 4100 has a smooth touch handle. It has a matte finish that isn't slippery like glossier alternatives, and it feels surprisingly secure in hand despite the lack of textured surfaces. A lack of such does make it super easy to keep clean, a lot less grime build up than some handles with lots of rubber grips. At just over 100 grams in weight and no more than 2.6 centimeters thick, the handle is relatively slim and lightweight and feels pretty well balanced. Inside the handle is a rechargeable lithium-ion battery. It has a claimed battery life of 21 days, which is good. In my own testing, I exceeded that with 50 days of use before the battery went flat. It can take up to 24 hours to fully charge the battery, but I have found that typically the charging is much quicker. There is an LED on the handle to give feedback on the remaining power and charge status. I also like how it vibrates and beeps when placed on the stand. It's a small touch that works well for deaf or blind users. It comes supplied with a USB charging stand, which can be more versatile for some, but the lack of a 2-pin plug adapter might be an annoyance for others. Adapters can be purchased separately. Unlike previous iterations, it is now possible at home, if required, to easily replace the rechargeable battery. This gives the option of getting many more years from the handle itself should the battery fail once the 2-year warranty expires. The 4100 should cost around £45 to buy when accounting for the typical discounts that are applied to the retail price. Over 3 years, expect a total ownership cost in the region of £100. There are variants that include a slim and basic travel case. It might cost £5 to £10 more, but I'd strongly recommend buying these if you can. The case is really useful for protecting the bristles and preventing accidental activations on those times you need to take your brush with you. You can spend more and get more features from other models in the Sonicare range. Bluetooth, visible pressure sensors, a charging travel case, and such. Doing so might bring slight usability improvements and satisfaction to you, but won't make significant differences to the vast majority of users. Save yourself the hassle, stop your search for your next electric toothbrush, and buy the 4100 series.